but it's been a week now. I mean, you said you're going to dive in here. What has been the biggest challenge here this first week? Has it been trying to figure out where to go, like you said, or learning names, or what's been the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is walking from the Omni to my office. So I've made a couple wrong turns, but that's been the biggest challenge. Everything else has really been fun. I mean, it's been awesome. Just have a lot to do. It's a normal process of when you're hired, but so many people have called, so many people to talk to. So I'm just working through it.
You've talked before about driving into Lambeau Field and seeing the statues and all that. Talk about the balance between building, protecting a legacy, the Packers, the Cowboys, but also knowing that a change is needed, and you have to kind of go in here and make some of those changes without changing what has been built.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the communication and the transparency is very important throughout your time at any organization, and obviously that's what's going on right now as far as every step that we want to take to make sure we're making the right changes if needed, make sure we're emphasizing the right things that if needed, and really, frankly, maybe just adjusting the things that are needed. So that's really the way my mind works, and it's a process that has started, but we have a lot of work to do. I mean, that's why I'm here. I mean, this is part of building a program. The way we do things are going to be different than we're done here before. There's some things that we're going to do that are the same as they did before. So just kind of working through all the intricacies is really what we're focused on.
Along those lines, I know there's going to be some new guys here on this coaching staff, and that's what you're working on here. But how important is it to have a few of those holdovers that kind of know how things were, know how these players were? It's been said you can just change the whole staff, but you do seem like you need some of those guys. Maybe Kellen Moore would be that.
It's the preferred. I mean, you definitely would like to keep as many of the current coaching staff. I think there's definitely there's a lot to gain from that. But in the same breath, it's really how the staff fits together. That'll be the priority, and that is my focus.
Speaking of Kellen Moore, you had some high praise for him the other day. You also said you're not sure what's going to happen with calling plays, but what can an offensive coordinator do? What would a role be, even if he's not calling plays? There's other things he can do, obviously, throughout the week that's important.
Well, definitely. I mean, obviously, if you call it or don't call it, your job description is different. I think it's important if you call plays that you need to be the coach that's installing it in front of the players. So, those are types of things. As I looked at my 13 years in Green Bay, as a play caller, I wasn't doing all the installing. So, as I build the job descriptions here, if you're going to call it, you need to install it. So that's a belief of mine.
Brett Favre said something earlier this week about how the message that maybe you had when you were with, not maybe coaching, but with Joe Montana, and then how you coached a young Brett Favre and then coached Aaron Rodgers, how it can be, it's not so much what you're saying in your message, but how you're delivering it. It's going to be different to how you deliver a message to Dak Prescott.
Well, definitely. I think anytime you have the ability to show an example of what you're trying to get done, and you have that example is Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Montana. It definitely brings a heightened credibility to that teaching moment. So I think that's something as coaches you always try to do. But the fact of the matter, it's you were there for that instruction and that performance. So I think it's all just adding credibility and confidence to what you're trying to teach.
I know this week's been focused on a lot of the coaching, but even last year you said you watching the Cowboys, watching all teams, was there a couple of players maybe that stood out that you can maybe pinpoint that maybe you didn't know a lot about, you kind of liked what you saw there, and that you're like, oh, this is somebody I wasn't really familiar with? But
yeah, I think really in fairness to the roster, those are conversations maybe for the next interview. But it's we have a lot of excellent football players here, and really the focus right now is to continue to add to that, through acquisition. And my job is really focus on make sure that we hire the right coaches to make sure the instruction is the way it needs to be done. So, but we have a lot of young guys.
A lot of young guys.
Just talking with the personnel guys, they're excited about the development of it. We haven't had a whole lot going on from medically, so it looks like we're going to have an opportunity to get a lot of these guys back.
And lastly, it's been well documented. You're a Steelers fan. You've coached for the Green Bay Packers, now coach for the Dallas Cowboys. When you were a young kid drawing this up, could you have done this any better?
Oh no, I don't think. If you have dreams, this was not a dream I ever had. That's for sure. But
it's more of a nightmare.
Happened. So, you always grew up watching the Cowboys because the Cowboys were always on the second game. You know, we'd watch the Steelers in the first game and watch the Dallas Cowboys in the second game. So, I mean, those were great years in the 70s and in the early 80s. And once Tony Dorsett came here from the University of Pittsburgh, then I think we all became Dallas Cowboy fans. Maybe it was our second team, but.
Okay, well, hello, friends and trolls. How you guys doing tonight? I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Booth Sports Report. Without you guys and you lovely ladies, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and wake up the football gods. How's everybody going here? I played this clip right here of Mike McCarthy, Joe Booth Sports Report. Oh, shout out to one. Oh, let me go ahead and take care of this. First of all, thank you for the. Thank you, Dak fan. I'm sorry. Joe Booth Sports Report fan, because that's one of the lovely ladies up in the house. Formerly known as Dak fan, now Joe Booth Sports fan, not to be confused with the Law Nation fan, okay? So we know he's a troll. That's one of our lovely ladies, okay? When I first saw Joe Booth Sports fan name on there, I was like, oh, is that the Law Nation fan that's trying to troll? I was like, no. But fortunately, that's our girl, Dak fan. And I see Gina. What's up, Gina? I know I saw Joanne Gonzalez. What's up, Joanne? I know I saw Jessica. What's up, Jessica? There's Lola. What's up, Lola? And of course, Crystal May. Hey! Oh, we even got her man, Mike J, in the house. Oh, what's up, Mike? What's up? Dennis, all the way from Hawaii. What's going on? Did I miss anybody? There's Sephiro. What's up, Sephiro? Crazy Corvette, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? I played this because, right now it's time to do the autopsy, okay? We have to go through and dissect the body and figure out what went wrong. One of the things he said in there was talking about coaches they were going to keep, whether or not we go ahead and get rid of everybody, we start all over, and so on. And maybe in some regard, maybe they cleaned out too much of the house because we didn't have some of the people who knew what worked with some of these players. Now, we kept Kellen Moore, Joe Booth Sports fan. Okay, I'll get that one. So there's the man. There's my main man, Michael Anthony Fitness, who's been working all evening after working his day job with me. Shout out to Michael Anthony. I think when you look at how the offense performed when we had Dak Prescott, part of that may have been the familiarity that we had with Kellen Moore working with the offense, knowing the play calling, that there wasn't too much stuff to change up. And we know, here we go, bam. Thank you very much there, Mike. Huh? That bone?
Bone.
Oh. Man, Mike, you just don't like Kellen Moore, do you?
Because he should have left with Jason Garrett.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, all right. So, Mike Anthony, okay.
Didn't you say that about Wade Phillips?
Who?
Jason Garrett should have left not with Wade Phillips?
Okay, that's a whole nother story. Okay, I'm not mad about the offense, okay? I tell you what. Here's the thing, okay? As we're looking around right now, okay, we know the Philadelphia Eagles are looking for a coach still, right? They've gone through and everybody they've wanted, has gone someplace else, right? And I'm sitting here today and I'm looking at teams like Seattle. Seattle ended up getting rid of Brian Schottenheimer. Now, you got to look at Russell Wilson's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, right? We all say that Dak Prescott couldn't carry Russell Wilson's jockstrap, right? Isn't that what they say? Am I wrong? Mike? Okay, I mean, that's what they say. They always say that Russell Wilson is head and shoulders above everybody else. Carlos Fisher, thank you very much. Oh, and there's Emily Ann. What's up, Emily Ann? Okay, so you look at Carlos Fisher, thank you very much for that super chat. So you look at the Seattle Seahawks offense, and they fire Brian Schottenheimer. And then they talk about hiring Adam Gase. They want to interview him. I'm like, how? What? I understand Cowboy fans say, well, here it is, another retread. But look at the names that are going out there. I mean, honestly, of the coaches that have been hired this offseason, how many do you look at and say, oh, that's a better coach than what we got? I mean, I know some people will say Lincoln Riley, right? But he's an unknown quality. You could have Lincoln Riley who could be Jimmy Johnson, or Lincoln Riley who could be Chip Kelly. You don't know. So in some regard, maybe you're better off going with a known commodity that you at least know. But I'm sitting here with Adam Gase. Now, we talk about Dan Quinn, and we say, oh, man, he did terrible with the Atlanta Falcons, right? They made it to the Super Bowl, and their defense lost it. They Matty Ice choked. They were bums, right? I mean, we say that, right, Mike? We're like, okay, we should have got Wade Phillips. Well, Wade Phillips' team screwed up in Buffalo, where they had a chance years ago when they had Doug Flutie, and they decided, we're going to go back to Rob Johnson because he looked like a quarterback. Doug Flutie, he too short, right? That's what he did. But here it is, Adam Gase. Adam, how? I'm sitting here listening. Okay, I can see Eric Bieniemy. You see people say, okay, Eric Bieniemy. He's in charge of Kansas City's offense. Okay, I can see that. I can see the Eagles and the Texans want to interview him, right? Because you look at Pat Mahomes, they averaged 29.6 points a game. Pat Mahomes, he wasn't wasn't one of the top, quarterbacks that were drafted. He was the third or second. I don't know. Or I think Watson, didn't Watson go out? I can't remember. But anyway, you look at that offense and say, okay, that guy's doing great. That offense is doing great. But the Jets average less than the Giants in total yards a game, under 300 yards. They were the worst offense in the NFL. And in the 2 years that he was there with the Jets, they were abysmal. And the 3 years he was with Miami, he was 10-6 and then 4 losing seasons. Now, how you going to tell Jamal Adams, who just got traded there from the Jets, oh, we're going to hire this guy? The fuck are you talking about? But here, I pulled this up because I just want you guys to think about this now, because as we go through and hire people, you got to understand there's not a lot of people to hire. So these are the 5 myths.
I think the Jets are going to keep.
I thought it was the 5 myths. Where's the rest of the article?
I don't know.
Okay, I guess page 2.
Oh, you have to click on the links.
Okay. 5 stats because people think that he's an offensive genius. And I'm like, what idiot is that? Record as a head coach. Gase joined the Jets with a sub-500 record, with the Dolphins fired him following his second consecutive losing season. His record has only gotten worse in New York. Gase is 24-32 in his 3.5 seasons as a head coach. This was done a couple months ago.
You're not
okay,
even 500.
No, he's not even 500. He had one season where he was 10-6, his first year with Miami. After that, it was all bad. Double-digit losses. Gase teams don't just lose games; they typically get blown out. 24 of his 32 career losses have been by 10 points or more. Yes, that means he has just as many double-digit losses as overall wins. If you break those double-digit losses down even further, it's somewhat worse. Gase has lost 34% of his games by at least 14 points, 27% by at least 3 scores. Damn. And 11% have been more than 20 points.
Man, we want to think about trading the number 2 pick.
Well, but hold on. Let's go on here. I'm just sitting here.
They got 2 picks in the first
Okay.
round.
Poor quarterback play. Gase has not shown himself to be a quarterback whisperer anywhere he's coached since 2015. Granted, he had Peyton Manning when he was with Denver as the offensive coordinator, which got him the job. Brock Osweiler, Sam Darnold, but those shouldn't have stopped someone heralding as a genius. His quarterbacks has dropped every year since 2015, and only Cutler in 2015 finished with a positive DVOA. Gase coach quarterbacks also, well, we'll just say this. Gase coach quarterbacks stink. They stink. Offensive rankings without Peyton Manning. Gase has gotten credit for Peyton Manning's record, setting success in Denver, but once Manning retired, the coach's offenses plummeted. Gase teams also ranked at near the bottom in points and yards, and has never coached the offense fish higher than 17th. Okay, so.
But was that Peyton Manning or the defense?
Well, no, they had Peyton Manning.
I'm just saying, was it Peyton Manning or the defense when they won that Super Bowl?
It was the defense. But okay, just humor me, okay, Mike? All right. What I'm saying is the guy sucked, okay? The guy stunk. He didn't do anything, but yet here, look, he got fired from Miami, immediately gets hired by the Jets, and they say, you know what? We're not only going to make you the coach, we're going to make you the GM. You proceed to let guys like DeMario Davis go. You proceed to go ahead and trade like Jamal Adams, and you proceed to just suck. And somehow this guy is interviewing to be the offensive coordinator for Russell Wilson. How does that work?
Well, he might be okay. He might not be head coach material.
Gene Jones, Mark, I just got done with what? Jobu's shoe untied. Jobu's shoes oh, yeah. They're always untied. Yeah, okay. But, man, I ain't got time to shine his shoes.
It's because my dad's shoes are sometimes untied.
He stunk up. But, okay, right. It's all agreed that this guy sucks. But this guy is going to be interviewing for offensive coordinator of Seattle. I'm like, are you kidding? What?
It might be like Jason Garrett interviewing.
In what world? And that's another one. So here you have, okay, San Diego is supposed to be interviewing Jason Garrett at some point.
Who?
Excuse me. Chargers, okay?
Yeah, LA,
I'm sorry.
LA.
Listen, the Chargers, if you've ever been to San Diego, why would anybody leave there? I'm sorry. San Diego is beautiful. It's not hot like LA. Why go to LA? And share the spotlight, okay? They should have kept their ass right there in San Diego. Look, in my mind, they're forever going to be the San Diego Chargers, okay, Mike? Damn. I make one little mistake and everybody always jumping on me. Well, my sister's leaving. Colton, I'm sorry to hear your sister's leaving. Where's your sister going?
My sister's
Lola Cal. Yeah, okay, so everybody, Jobu Sports Report fan is not the Law Nation fan. Do not confuse Dak fan. Excuse me.
You can't.
Jobu. Now I'm getting confused. Jobu Sports Report fan is AKA Dak fan. And Dak fan, do you have any of the racks? Do you have a rack? Because you won again yesterday. I'm like, I think I done sent you a little bit. There ain't much left for me to send you. I don't know if I got you a rack or not, but we got to get you something because, you support the channel so much, your name just keeps getting drawn in there. So let me know if you got a rack, okay? We'll send you a nice rack to hang up on the wall and stuff. But then again, Dak fan, you got so much, you got the good stuff. You got the great Cowboy gear stuff. What?
I don't want to say it on your show, but one of the commercials.
One of the commercials, what? On mine? I got commercials already?
That's probably still playing it, but
okay, all right.
For those pills.
What, Viagra pills?
that's an 18-minute commercial about those pills.
18 minutes. Wait. You're saying my channel is playing an 18-minute? Well, they know I'm old. Okay,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, they know the demographics. Okay, wow. So that's the kind of ads I have, or Viagra ads. Wow. Oh, you have to. Damn, Dak. Okay, Dak, just look around. Tell me what you want, okay? If you got racks, you got the Cowboy, the chain, you got glasses, and I don't know what. Like I said, you got the good stuff. You got the good stuff. Okay, so
that's hilarious.
It's because it's probably demographics. Okay, most of my fan base in here are between, I think, 35 and 55, so they look at it saying, "Hey,
yeah, but they know
okay,
they know they can make more money off of you too."
I'm happy that I'm happy they're doing at least Viagra as opposed to male diapers. Okay, at least they're not doing like the male diapers. Okay, wow. Okay, all right. So moving right along here. Okay, moving right along here. No, you got waist loss ads. Bandwagon. Chip. Oh, speaking of chip, and not as in Chip Kelly. Michael Anthony Fitness over here
Yeah, 10,000 subs. I'll do the chip challenge. 10,000.
10,000. How far you got to go? 4,000. Okay,
Yeah,
well, okay, that's
let's
gonna be
go
all right.
4,000.
If you want to see somebody in pain sooner, hit DMV because DMV is only about
Well, I'm
1,700
already
away.
past 5, so I was like, I need to do at least another 5.
Okay, all right. So if you want to see guys literally burn their guts out, okay,
I'll do
subscribe
both.
to Michael Anthony Fitness or MAF Reactions, okay, or DMV and so on.
Fanatics or whatever.
Is she passing away? Is somebody passing? I hope nobody. Wait, what?
I haven't.
Wait a minute, Colton. What? I know you said your sister was leaving. My sister's leaving. She can't come back either, so I can't see her again. Colton, I know you're in high school. Okay, I don't. Okay, I don't understand that
I'll
one.
let that be at this point.
But I'm sorry to hear that, Colton.
I might just let that.
I know. Is that the same sister that had the boyfriend problems? The dude with 1 ring is here. We got 5 rings. Jesse, how you doing, Jesse?
Philadelphia's in the building. That's what they.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, Philadelphia, have you got a coach yet? We got a team without a name, and we got a team without a coach in our division. Man, we just ought to call our division the Lost Gang team. Okay, we ain't got no heart.
The best division.
Okay, so
in
this
NFL.
is this like the Wizard of Oz division,
The best division in NFL is looking like trash.
huh? The formerly best division in football.
We have all the records.
Yeah, right. Well, now we got the records for ineptitude.
That's
okay,
right. That too. We got all the records.
Emily, I'm missing a lot in here. Emily, prayers for your son. Emily, what's going on? Or are we praying for Emily, who's praying for Colton? This past year has been crazy. I think for everybody between. Oh, I've got the wrong camera. I think this year has just been crazy for everybody with COVID and job losses, social unrest. It's just been, and Cowboys stinking. It's just been bad all the way, all the way around.
Isn't that something? Since the last time we went to the Super Bowl, the Browns.
Well,
won a playoff game.
Here's where, okay, but see, here's what's great, okay?
Because of the Eagles, they won a playoff game.
Here's what's great, at least, to look at. Half the teams that made the playoffs this year won't be in the playoffs next year. Like I said, the Browns last year weren't in the playoffs. They came close to beating Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, they did.
You certainly,
I still think the Browns are going to be good next year.
You just confusing me so much. Jobu Sports Report fan. Oh man, yeah, it's just confusing. I see you and I think a Dak fan, and I see. Okay, I'll get it straight. I'm not good with change. Yes, by all means, you can. How come Michael Anthony Fitness isn't yelling every other word the way he does on his videos? Because he's on my channel, not on his channel. He has a certain way that he acts on his. He has a certain way he acts on his.
It also depends on the subject.
But he also ends up
Because if I'm talking about Jalen Smith, I'm going to be holler carrying on at Jalen Smith. It depends on the subject, too, because I don't holler carry on every video. It just depends on the subject.
I'm sorry, Meat Church. What? I really...
I have no
Emily Ann, what's going on? Okay, I'm so confused.
I don't even know.
What is... Okay, I don't... Do you know what Meat Church is? What is Meat Church? And Emily...
is that a church where it's nothing but they talk about meat?
I don't know. I'm just saying...
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking. I haven't been paying
I'm so old. I don't understand stuff. Emily Ann, I'm not sure what's going on with your son. Thoughts and prayers?
Oh, that's who it is. That's somebody who's in... That's one of the people in the chat.
Saying what?
Is the Meat Church.
Oh, that's the person's name?
Yeah, I guess that's their username.
Okay, well, I still want to know why Meat Church?
Does
that mean
where they worship meat?
I was gonna say, is that like the barbecue? We go on Sunday and we got pulled pork one week, and another week we got ribeyes. Is that the meat? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Meat Church, can you explain? Philadelphia, oh my God, too funny. Oh, wait a minute, Philadelphia actually said something funny? Okay, I got to go back up in these.
I had no idea what was
At
going on.
5, I'm married and you still 26-year-old. Oh, wow. Okay, all right.
Oh, that's where it is. Meat Church. I think lost his wife.
Meat Church lost his wife?
Oh, that's what Lola said. I don't know.
Okay, the Meat Church. Okay, thank you. Happened before Christmas. Okay, I thought that somebody was. Okay, I didn't know that was a person. Meat Church, I'm sorry for your loss. You lost your wife? Oh man, I'm sorry. I wasn't meaning to make fun of just the name, the Meat Church. I'm still trying to understand that. I'm sorry about you losing your wife, man. COVID has been a mother humper to everybody. It's it's just bad. I'm hoping that we can get a grasp on this. There's so many things that you miss. I feel for you. I lost my brother about 2 months ago. That was a complete surprise. It wasn't to COVID, it was to cancer, but it doesn't matter how you lose them. It still, it hurts. And I know there's a lot of people in here that have lost others. I know DT, lost his nephew. Q has lost about 5 or 6 different family members. I've lost a few people that I know as well. So, Emily Ann's son has COVID. Oh man, hopefully Emily Ann, that it'll be quick and out of there. The good news is I do know a lot of people who've had it and it wasn't really, really bad for them. So, thoughts and prayers to you. And Emily Ann, always thank you, because you're always keep me up to speed with everything, giving me messages and all that. So anything we can do to help anybody out, let us know. Philadelphia, who's your coach? It will be wild if franchises could trade owners like GMs. Well, part of the go ahead.
Isn't Philadelphia's owner like Jerry Jones-esque?
Yeah.
So how do you trade if you have something that we already have?
Well, here's the thing, and the reason I was talking about changing in coaching, we thought, Rod Marnelli and Chris Richard, man, get their bums, get their sorry ass out here.
Them for another year.
That's that's what a lot of fans said. And then we get Mike Nolan, and I was trying to find some clips about how happy everybody was about getting Mike Nolan and stuff. But here we are. Okay, we got rid of him. Now we get Robert Quinn. So my question is, for everybody who's saying, he's a bum, we shouldn't have got him. All right, then who is it that you really look at and say is a guy that's going to be able to turn this shit sandwich around? I know a lot of people will say Wade Phillips, but Wade Phillips is getting kind of up there. I'm kind of past the old guys. I'm an old guy, and as you can tell, they're putting Viagra commercials on my YouTube here. So they're telling me, they're at least letting me know that I'm an old guy, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure who you look at that's going to be the one to turn around, as long as Jerry Jones is going to get in the way. Westman, I'm glad you asked that. Okay, I can tell you exactly who we're playing next year. I can't tell you when, but we're going to play the Eagles at home and away. We're going to play the Washington football team or Washington Football Club, whichever name they decide on, home and away. We're going to play the New York stinking Giants with or without Jason Garrett, home and away. That, of course, are the 6 that we know for sure. Then we're going to play the NFC South. And one thing I can tell you is we'll play the New Orleans Saints without Drew Brees and the noodle arm. Okay? And that's a team that is going to have to gut the roster because they're 90-some million over. They literally went all in for this year. Okay? So we got them. We got Tampa Bay with Father Time. Tampa Bay.
He only has one.
He has one more year left on his contract, but we'll be playing Tampa Bay. Who knows? He might win the Super Bowl and say, you know what? Enough. Renee Ramirez, thank you very much for that super chat. Okay, so you got Tampa Bay. You got New Orleans. You got Carolina, who may be looking for a quarterback, okay, because Teddy Bridgewater may not be the franchise quarterback that they thought. And who did I miss? Oh, the Atlanta Falcons. Another team with a new coach and an old-ass quarterback.
I thought
Okay, what?
I thought he was retiring.
Matty Ice? No, he might get cut.
Oh no, it's Drew Brees that's
Drew
retiring.
Brees is retired. Drew Brees, you could see him. You know, it was touching seeing him and Tom Brady hugging on the field. Yeah, okay. Anyway, moving right along.
Yeah.
All right, so we got those. Okay, so that's 10. That's 10 of the teams we're playing right there. Now, because you acted right now, okay, we play the AFC West. So that means we play the Raiders with John Gruden, who has yet in 3 years to have a winning record with the Ravens. Another team that's not sure that Derek Carr is the guy. We've got the Denver Broncos, a team that has been looking for a quarterback, and they've been looking high and they've been looking low. They've been looking everywhere trying to find a quarterback. So you got the Denver Broncos. You also have the team formerly known as the San Diego Chargers that now reside in LA. Another team with maybe Jason Garrett as a coach. Who knows? Okay. So you've got that team, and then you have the Kansas City Chiefs. But, oh, wait, because the Dallas Cowboys did not win the division and go to the playoffs, they will have the third-place schedule, which means more than likely they'll play like the 49ers and they'll play like the Lions. So at the moment when you look at the schedule of the teams you have on there, the teams you say that are really, really good, nobody in our division. I mean, Washington is the best team at the moment, technically, but I'm not going to say they're a good team. They were the best team in the division winning it, but I'm not going to say they're a good team. Tampa Bay, if Tom Brady comes back, well, they're going to be pretty good. New Orleans, I think, is going to take a step back. And, you know, you got Kansas City, which, of course, is going to be a good team. All the rest of the teams that you play on there are about the same position that we're in. But conceivably, I don't want to sound like a Cowboy fan that's arrogant and thinking that we're better than people. I'm long-winded as hell. Sorry, Michael. I am. Listen, I'm an old guy, and I got an hour show to fill. And unlike, you know, First Take and stuff where they got a commercial every 10 minutes, I got to talk through. Now, if you'd like me to go ahead and put in some ads in between and just kind of stop and come back, I'll say, and we'll be right back. Come on, man.
What about the extra game?
The extra game.
Because aren't they playing 17?
Yeah, actually, I don't know who the other game will be. You're right.
like,
well, that hasn't officially been. Dak.
No, they did say that they're going to do it, but they don't know who.
Yeah, that hasn't been decided yet. So, but that's the normal format
No,
that we would be.
They
Okay.
already decided, but they haven't decided who's going to play what.
Shout out to Jobu Sports Report fan. So you get to mess me up. Okay. You're right, Mark. I mean, you can listen to me or you can listen to Viagra commercials. Which one do you want to hear?
Or weight loss commercials.
Okay. Until we get this pandemic defense fixed, we can't overlook anybody. Oh, no, I agree. I agree, Derek. But see, could you imagine if instead of having Detroit and San Francisco, we end up having, say, Green Bay and I don't know who else. Who we want to say? Seattle or something. I'm just throwing a couple ones out there. But at least you look at this and say, okay. Now, back to Michael McKenzie. I don't know why I took my glasses off. Okay. Jessica. What's up, Jessica? Oh, man. Oh, and we're getting all these super guys. We'll do another draw in here tonight because you guys are great. Okay. Here's the thing. Look at the teams that made the playoffs this year that didn't last year. Tampa Bay. What did Tampa Bay do? Tampa Bay got a quarterback. They got Tom Brady as the difference for them. They got rid of Jameis Winston, okay? And they put Tom Brady
next year.
He might be, or they might be one of those teams that we might be able to trade with to try and get one of those quarterbacks. They improved because they got a quarterback. The Steelers made the playoffs. They didn't the year before, but they got Big Ben back. Gina, what's up, Gina? How you doing?
Ben Ben's on his last leg.
Well, Big Ben's going to be gone. And so here's my thought, and I may be crazy. My man, DMV Dallas Cowboys, and if you would like to see him burn, baby, burn, on fire, be sure to sub up to his channel, because once he gets to 5,000 subs, he's going to do. Emily Ann. They also released RG3.
Well, they got the dude that looks like
They got the other guy, but they
had the dude that looks like Lamar Jackson, but just skinnier.
that's a fake Gina. We got a fake. How do we know it's a fake Gina? Okay, all right, but anyway, okay, I'm so confused. I just saw a lady's name, and I said, there's one of the ladies. It could be a new Gina. I don't know. Did she say something that wasn't cool? Or we got a cat fight up in here. Ladies are like, hey, this is our territory. Okay, anyway. All right, moving right along. Because there's so many teams. We know New Orleans, Drew Brees is gone. If you're not sold on Jameis Winston, you may want to get another quarterback. Okay? If you are the Raiders have not really been sold on Derek Carr for quite a while. I can see the Raiders saying, you know what? Let's get rid of him and go someplace else. If you're the Colts, Phillip Rivers is probably going to retire. And Jacoby Brissett, who got $21 million this year, he's not the answer for them too.
Because Carson Wentz ain't going nowhere.
Okay, well, right.
More likely we'll keep him.
There you go, right there. If you're the Jets, you're looking and saying, is Sam Darnold the guy? No. You got Jacksonville, of course. They definitely need a quarterback, right? If you are the Washington football team, Alex Smith, the 5 games he was able to play in, he didn't do too bad, but the guy's got, half a calf on each leg. So you look at them. They need a quarterback. Carolina, like I said, they're not sold on Teddy Bridgewater. They're looking at quarterback. So you're looking at a lot of teams that are looking to change. And I dare say part of the thing that you look at, even with a guy like Matty Ice might be let go because you look at that contract that he's got, and they may say it's time to rebuild. Let's go ahead and just cut ties with them, get what we can get for him, trade him to a team that needs a quarterback that can go on a run, and we can go ahead and get somebody. So you're looking at, say, 8 teams or 9 teams that are thinking, if there's a quarterback that we can get, we best be getting one, right? So as you sit there with the number 10 pick, unless you're trying to get a quarterback, I don't know that there's a lot of difference between 10 and 15 or 10 and 18. Mark Philadelphia is switching accounts. He's switching accounts to what? He's tired of the abuse he's getting? So Philadelphia is trying to be Gina now? Is that what it is? Is Carson going? Well, here's the problem why nobody wants the job in Philadelphia is because Howie Roseman, the GM, wants to make sure that Carson Wentz is the starting quarterback. Much in the way that Jerry Jones wanted Jason Garrett to win a Super Bowl, and they kept sticking with him and sticking with him and sticking with him instead of saying it's time to move on. So that's where we are with Jerry Jones, and of course on that. Carson is staying. QB fired. You mean coach was fired? You wouldn't mind Xavier back on a 1-year deal? Xavier Woods? Sorry, I'm done. I was done with Xavier Woods from the time he said nobody gives 100% on a play. Sorry. You know what? Colton, are you still here, Colton? Colton's in high school. I think he's a sophomore this year. Big guy. Hopefully a future NFL player. Think back if you played high school football. Think back to the players on your team. How many of those players on your team went on to play college football? My junior year, we had 5 guys that went on to play college football. My senior year, I think we had 2. If you played college football, I played at JMU, not a football factory, although they're getting to be a football factory. During my time of being there, we had Gary Clark, who went to Jacksonville in the USFL and then on to the Washington football team. getting a couple of Super Bowl rings. We had Charlie Haley, of course, the first man with 5 rings. And we had, Buffalo's kicker, that Scott Norwood. 3 guys. We had like 90 guys on the football team, and that was through the course of about 7 years. 3 guys. You get to the NFL. About 1% of high school kids make it to college football, and of that, about 1% makes it to the NFL. You get paid millions of dollars. You have 16 now this year, 17 games where there is 60 minutes of action. Half the time, special teams and the offense is on the field. So there's 30 minutes of time that you actually are playing the game. And you're telling me, after all that you had to do to get to the NFL level, that you can't give full effort for that 30 minutes of game time that's out there? You're actually going to say that to me. That is literally an insult to every person that's ever played football, that has given every bit and ounce of effort to get where you are. You're fortunate that you got there. But I'll be damned if I'm going to have somebody that says you don't give full effort. A lot of times, the big plays happen because of that other guy who's floating around and not giving up. You don't know if that ball is going to get tipped up in the air. And if you got your head on a swivel and you're coming in there, you're getting a game-changing takeaway. Here comes the Dak haters. Bring them on. I'm ready for them. Did I see today what Dak said about the Cowboys NFC champ? No, I did not see that. What did Dak say about it? Which is funny because I thought I never miss anything that Dak says. You mean hold my beer? Don't waste your breath on that cat more than he deserves. So saying, oh yeah, I want Xavier Woods back. I'm sorry. Not only let's take that comment out of there, because maybe he just had a brain fart. The Ravens just released Mark Ingram. Okay, damn. Well, they're cleaning house. Like I said, they let go 3 or 4 players earlier today. They just mad because of Wentz. Jesse, they never go away. I love our offense. I think we should draft an offensive tackle in the 3rd or 4th round. Well, here's my thing. If you're the Cowboys, because all these teams are looking at quarterbacks, if you have somebody who says, we really want to trade up, I'm okay with that. In fact, I would welcome it. Because the one thing the Cowboys have done really, really well is draft well. And at this point, the best thing we can do is have as many picks as possible. We got Q. What's up, Q? So the Ravens save $5 million with the release of Ingram. Yeah, I'm sure they will. And see, this is where they may be trying to get themselves together. Go ahead, let's get our cap situation right. Because see, there's going to be buyers and sellers big time this year for the cap, which is another thing I was going to get to. And teams are trying to figure out, how can we save some money? Because, like I said, New Orleans is about 92. Let me pull it up. Let's see.
Yeah, New Orleans has the worst cap.
Hold on.
Eagles.
Let me pull it up. Over the cap. I always like using over the cap, but there's also a couple different ones over there. Cap space. Okay. I wish I could figure out how to kill all these ads. Damn. Cap space effective. Let's blow this up a little bit. Okay. All right. So and here's the interesting part. If the salary cap is at 176, although they're saying that the salary cap will probably be in the 190s, which is good news. The Jaguars have lots of cash, and that's why Lincoln Riley was like, "Yeah, let's go to the Jaguars.
And
They got
pick.
number one pick. They got cash, and I can just it's a clean palette. I can start over." The Jets, because they let go of all their good players, of course, got 66. The Colts, hard to believe they got 65 million, even though they're spending 40-some million on quarterbacks at the moment. You got the Patriots, and this is where I kept telling people that New England was doing a Jedi mind trick
Of course,
on
they
us.
said, okay.
Okay, yeah, they were in cap hell last year.
But they were smart, though.
They were smart.
They gamed the system.
Right, so they got the fourth most amount of money in the
Nine
NFL.
Players.
Washington,
Some of that was because of 9 players.
right, exactly, because they sat out. Washington, of course,
$1 million.
they've got a good chunk of change. The Bengals at 35, Buccaneers, boom, 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 and here we are, Cowboys, 19.3. How did we lose some? I thought we actually had 24. Hold on, did that change or that not been updated? Hold up, we should be rolling over. Oh, we did. I got to see what we did. It must be, incentives. That's what it is, where people ended up getting their bonuses for reaching goals. Okay, so we got 20 million that's going to roll over. So that's where we are effectively right now. So here's the thing. For those out there that are saying just franchise tag Dak Prescott and make it prove it. The problem is to do that, we got to come up with $18 more million. We got to come up with $18 more million to franchise that. Now, if you do a long-term deal, you can make that front end a lot more friendlier, and you could use up just the 19. Now, the cap, I'm going to tell you, will not be 175. I'm going to tell you it's going to be more because the NFL, if they have to juice the numbers, they're going to juice that because you don't want to go through here when you start seeing teams like the Bills that are 4 million over or the Titans that are 5 over, or the Bears that are 11. They don't want to see teams to literally have, you see all the red? They don't want to see all these teams have to gut players and have them on the streets. They want to have, right, the Eagles, 51, right. They want to have people have good teams out there. So when you see this, the NFL is going to make sure that it's not really, really bad. So you know that the Saints, you know that the Eagles, you know that the Falcons and the Packers and the Rams and the Steelers and the Texans and the Raiders and the Chiefs are all going to have, what?
Most of the teams that have cap hell were in the playoffs.
Yeah, because they spent money because they're trying to make sure they made that run.
Like the Bears, the Chiefs.
Yeah, but you're looking at that, right?
Rams,
So
Packers,
these guys and the Vikings, of course, are going to have to shed contracts. They're going to have to get rid of people that are on that list, okay? So that means there's a lot of free agents out there. And there's not a lot of money to go around. So if you're New England, you can look and say, hey, I've got money. I can go ahead and I can pick up some of these players on a depressed market. And this is where the Cowboys need to look at this because you're going to probably be able to get players right now at a contract level that's going to be depressed.
That's probably
First thing,
okay.
first thing.
Safety out there.
Now here's the second part of it. It's advantageous for you to sign a guy this year because what's going to happen is at the end of next year, the salary cap is going to blow up because they're going to do the television contract, which will now have 17 games. You're going to have gambling money. You're going to have, YouTube might go ahead and blow this thing out of the water because
you got two extra playoff games.
Right, and you got 2 extra playoff games. So if you sign a guy, let's say you find a great free agent, okay, a young guy, you sign him to a 3 or 4 year deal that may be high for this year, but guess what? Next year, that number's going to look low. And that's the same thing with Dak Prescott. So if you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys wanting to fix themselves, if I am the GM, I wish I were the GM, but I'm not the GM. I am seeing if somebody wants to move up to that 10 spot, try and take a flyer on a quarterback that wants to give me, a later first round, or maybe a second or a couple of thirds, and I'm going to try and use those players because I'm trying to get myself a defensive tackle, an offensive tackle. I'm trying to get me a safety. I'm trying to get me a linebacker or two, and I'm trying to get me another quarterback.
Might be able to get a good safety in free agency this year.
Michael says, I'm gambling money. I'm licking my chops. But yeah, but to give you an example, how once we get through the pandemic, things are going to be so different. The Washington football team has gambling rights that have been approved for the stadium.
Now, they're putting in the old stadium or they're going to put in the new
I'm
one?
sure, believe me, they'll probably take the whole top floor and just make that a big casino. It's not like anybody's going up there to watch games.
That's the nicest part of the stadium.
I mean, seriously, just take the top level because ain't nobody sitting up there. Just put, tables and
I thought you were
and
talking about the
slots.
club section. That's the nicest part
No,
of the
not the
stadium.
club. No, I'm talking about the very, very the top where they basically are covering up because nobody's sitting
Oh,
there.
yeah, with the advertisements.
So you just make the whole top of it a casino. At least that's something, right? So that money is part of the whole gross revenues. I think we need to upgrade the tight end to Mark. Just my opinion. Well, you're in there with DMV, who we want to burn his ass with the chips, because he's like if
I get
Kyle
the 10,
Pitts
if I get the 10.
is there at 10, take him. And they damn, I just said his name. See, look at that. You mentioned tight end, and DMV comes in, boom, just like that. Just like freaking that, It's like somebody say tight end, and here comes DMV. All right, so in my mind, I would rather. Oh, there's Miss Jackie. Hi, Miss Jackie. DS, glad you got your radiation treatment. Hopefully everything is good for you, man. Boy, we got a lot of people with problems tonight, man. You know what? We just need to, I tell you what, let's just have a moment of silence for everybody, okay? Just a moment of silence here. All right. Thoughts and prayers to everybody going through some stuff right now, which is pretty much all of us right now.
Why do you want to?
The Cowboys, if the coaching isn't an issue, if they can do a better job with the coaching, they can turn this team around just like that. The biggest thing they got to do is what?
I think the defense is going to be better.
It can't be worse.
No, because it's not going to be complicated.
Well, it's going to be.
Let's hope it's just one scheme and not this hybrid stuff.
Fast and aggressive. Okay? They're going to be blitzing. They're going to be coming in there. And I hope Dan Quinn is looking at a beast defensive tackle.
But he likes the big guys, I heard.
I'm okay with it right now.
Likes the fat guys.
See, here's the thing. You've got D-Law. You may have Aldon Smith because Jerry Jones wants to re-sign Aldon Smith.
I need to get his jersey.
Okay. You've got Randy Gregory, who, hopefully there's no other issues. Okay. Who am I willing to cut? Okay. Well, cap casualties. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go through that real quick. Amari Cooper, I'm actually saying restructure his deal.
Yeah, keep him for a couple more years.
Because right now with Amari Cooper's deal, if he plays this year, basically you can let him walk the next year without costing you any money. Okay? Right? But I'm looking at this and saying, you know what? I want to reduce that cap number. And I'll go ahead and basically stretch it out. I'm okay with that because, again, you'll have more money coming in the future. Zeke Elliott, I don't think we touch that because I don't want to stretch it out any more than it already is. It's already too far out there. D-Law, I might consider restructuring his deal and just take like 5 off of it, okay? You're already in, if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. You work on that. Jalen Smith,
I would say
you could cut Jalen Smith if you make it a June 1st cut.
But how much would you say by cutting
If you make it a June post June 1st cut, you can make 2. Jalen Smith, you save 7.2.
That's a good chunk of change.
But you're paying some of that next year.
Yeah, but
The following year.
$7
But
million,
Jalen
that's a
Smith could be, if he was designated a post June 1st cut, you save a good chunk of money. Zach Martin, you're not cutting Zach. Tyron Smith, again, you could save 10.5 if you cut Tyron Smith post June 1st. But unless the only way you cut Tyron Smith
if you got
is
someone that can replace him.
if you have one of the best tackles fall to you in the draft. That's the only way, and I'm not even sure I would do that. I would say I'll move him to left tackle, the guy you draft, and move Lyle Collins to guard because I'm not sure Lyle Collins is reliable. I mean, he had the one great year, but then this year he couldn't even get into training camp. So Lyle Collins is another one. You make him a post June 1st cut. If you end up drafting a tackle, you can say, okay, we can save 8.5 with Lyle Collins. I'm not getting rid of Blake. Anthony Brown, not getting rid of. Leighton Vander Esch, no.
It wouldn't cost you anything. So
CD, of course, no. Chris Jones. You could do Chris Jones.
Yeah, he's a bum.
Connor Williams, he's still dirt cheap. Actually, Connor Williams, you're going to have to decide if you're going to pay him or not. And the rest of the guys on here, it's chump change. You're not paying them anything. They're all under $1 million. So I don't think we're going to have a lot of cap casualties this year.
Maybe
because we had so many expiring contracts. Hell no to Ruben on TV. People, I spelled your name wrong. I'm sorry, dear. Please forgive me. Miss Jackie, you talked about somebody who can't spell. You have nothing to worry about. Restructure every overplayed player's contract in the Cowboys organization. But see, here's the thing: you've got to actually understand, though.
More years to their deal.
You have to be careful when you can restructure everybody, but the problem is it can end up being, if they're not a player that's going to be on your team for very long, it's one of those situations where you pay me now or you pay me later. But eventually you're going to have to take a big hit, and it may end up being that you end up taking that, like we did with Tony Romo. $26 million. Took over 2 years. Des Bryant, we took $16 million over 2 years. Taco, we're still paying Taco's money.
And he's about to go. He might be in the Super Bowl.
So
it's that shame. You're a man who's going to be in the Super Bowl.
Great people. That is so good. Have a great week. Hi, Jackie. Philadelphia is really Philly 500's fake account. Yeah, I noticed we had a Philly 500 fake. I don't understand why people have to hide and become all these other people and stuff. But I guess people just want to be deceptive.
I guess so.
We need a stud defense that people fear. Von Miller is available. Well, let's see what the police report comes out with on that one. They're doing an investigation on him. Mark, I think Jerry will bring Xavier Woods back. If he does, he does. I'm not.
Gerald McCoy might be. I'd rather have Jared McCoy.
Let's restructure upper management. Yeah, okay. But see, the problem is when you restructure, basically you're saying we're going to keep you longer because you have to keep them longer to get your money back out of it. How you doing, Christopher? Taco sucks. Hey, tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. Tacos don't suck.
No,
Taco Charlton.
No, Taco Charlton is one game away from the Super Bowl. So how's that man suck? We just couldn't do anything with him.
Richard Sherman, here's the thing. I don't think Richard Sherman would be brought in because of some of the things he said about Jerry Jones.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jerry Jones ain't playing that one. So I don't see that one happening. I wouldn't mind if it's a very team-friendly deal because he can at least go through. Quinn's, yeah, well, what's up, my Cowboys family? I tell you what, I actually loved what I heard from from Dan Quinn today, because basically I had a clip. People kept saying, why do you keep playing that clip over and over? But if you go to the post-Super Bowl video interview of Dan Quinn, he kept saying over and over again, fast and aggressive. We like to play fast and we like to play aggressive. And that is what our defense did not do. Our defense, I'm sorry, too many times we just looked timid. Watching yesterday's game, when you saw the linebackers from New Orleans, my man DeMario Davis, those guys come with ferociousness. They come in there, they lay a hit. They're not there taking the hit. Too many times I have seen guys, especially the cornerbacks, especially the safeties too. And Xavier Woods is truly one of these. Xavier Woods is always running, it seems, away or just waiting for the guy to get to them instead of actually attacking the person to make the tackle. And this in lies the problem because you're absorbing all the blow. And when you do, you're getting carried downfield and they're getting more yards after contact. The thing is you need to go to them. You need to strike them. And you need these other guys, instead of saying nobody gives 100%, you need them coming in and trying to dislodge the ball. because turnovers are the keys. So when you start hearing Dan Quinn, he's talking about evaluating the people that are there and not just, and this is one of those things that Mike Nolan kind of said too, and we saw them experimenting because they were basically talking to players and say, what do you feel that you're good at? And so that was one of the things where you didn't see D-Law having his hand in the dirt every play. You saw him standing up more, okay, because they were kind of, what you guys like to do? No, instead of saying this is what we're going to do. But he wants to evaluate the players and find out what their strengths and weaknesses are and try and play and call the defense to the things that they can do. You may want to be a team that has defensive linemen that just play with aggression, but you may not have those guys that can do that. So you have to disguise what you're doing, or you may have to do more blitzing. So they're going to try and figure out what they do well. Now, Dan Quinn believes in big guys. Like I was saying, we have edge rushers. We're actually pretty good with that part right now. The thing that the Cowboys hadn't focused much on, especially ever, is the one technique. Now, you look at Tristan Hill, who was playing well. He's good. He's a good three technique. And Gallimore definitely flashed and did well a lot as well. So you have two good guys that are right there. But you still need that big cog in the middle. And you can still use another rotational guy in there. When you had guys like Tyrone Crawford who had double hip surgery that's kind of light in the ass, it just wasn't enough. We need bigger bodies that are young and can really get upfield. And, people keep saying, well, how about Richard Sherman? How about Earl? Listen, I need some young pups. I need some young guys that are going to stay healthy, that are ready to hit, that are looking to be able to make that next contract. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you get a guy who says, if I play lights out for these first 4 years, I'm going to get those big bucks either from the Cowboys or someplace else. But more times than not, when the guys get those big bucks, hey, I ain't going to kill myself. You start getting alligator arms on catching the football. Sometimes you don't quite put your head in there like you used to, okay? So we need some beef to fit this. And we also need a center fielder type of safety in the middle. So that's where we can get better. And there's some players out there in free agency that can help us. But the Cowboys have to stop doing this bargain basement shopping and start looking at getting just one or two really good players. Good night, William. Thanks for being here, man. We got to get ready to get out of here too, man, soon. How about drafting Marvin Wilson, FSU, or Christian Balmore, Alabama? I'll get back to you on those two guys, okay? Derek Young, I would agree, but it was Dak and Zeke's turning the ball over multiple times. Well, Sid, first part of the season sucked. We turned over the ball, and we didn't get the ball. Our defense could not do anything. And I'm not saying that Dak and Zeke were not at fault, because they were. You can't turn over the football. It's just that our team was completely discombobulated. Our offensive line was completely in flux. It was just bad all the way around. You were trying a defense, making changes without having time to put it in there. It was literally just a pooch screw. But we may go back and look at it from the point of this will be beneficial in the long run. I talked about how New England, in a way, you're going to look at it and say New England is starting their dynasty over starting next year. They got high draft picks. They got cash. They got players coming back that will be healthy, that didn't get that wear and tear. They will turn things around, and I can guarantee we'll be in the playoff again next year. So that's the thing you have to look at, because as we have teams like the Browns who weren't in the playoffs last year, as we had teams that were in the Super Bowl last year like the 49ers that all of a sudden dropped off the face of the earth. It's the natural progression of football. You get really bad, you have the opportunity to really turn around quickly, and that's where I feel the Cowboys have that opportunity. I guess you forgot Kakaroos Coos that Dak bought us back against the Browns. He was only down 41-38 with almost 4 minutes to go in our pathetic defense. Couldn't stop a reverse. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. That was Dak Prescott's fault. Yeah. And here's what's funny, Derek, is I keep getting guys that'll say, Andy Dalton played better than Dak. He got more wins. And it's kind of like, Do you think if Andy Dalton was playing those games that we lost, we would have won them? He couldn't have done. Sid Farsis? How many quarterbacks played great all 4 quarters? Did you see the Super Bowl last year? Pat Mahomes played great in the 4th quarter, but he did throw 2 picks in the 3rd quarter, right? Mark, Philadelphia is calling me out. And? Is that supposed to mean something? That a team with no coach that's in the basement is calling me out to say what? Oh, you know what? Hey, Philadelphia, buddy. Philadelphia.
But he gets timed down my channel all the time.
Hey, Philadelphia. This is for you, buddy.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.
Just get out. Mark, not ready. I'm not ready for what? Oh, we're going to start doing some call-in shows. I just have to finish hooking everything
Everybody
back.
said that Philadelphia wants to call in.
Well, you're not calling in tonight.
I'm just saying that's what people are saying in the chat.
Call in for what? What has that jackass got? I want to hear from a team that's team is loser. As bad as my team was, we still aren't as bad as you losers, man. Come on, man.
Oh, in the basement.
Huh? I'm serious. No, they're under the. We're in the basement. They're under the basement. Y'all just about in China. That's how low you are. Coach tanked the game, then got fired. Do you watch Deshaun Watson this year and did not play well, all 4 quarterbacks? Well, here, Miss Jackie, here's the thing. We should trade for Deshaun Watson. And I'm just like.
No, not for Deshaun Watson.
I'm just like, wait a minute. Wait. We were 8-8, and everybody said Dak Prescott, his yards were garbage yards. So they're 4-12, and he has similar yards to Dak Prescott. I don't hear nobody saying those are garbage yards. I don't hear anybody saying those were garbage yards. Do you?
It's because he doesn't play for the Dallas Cowboys. That's why.
Is that what it is?
That's why
I've gotten some requests here.
That's why Dallas Cowboys quarterback gets on that team.
I fire Howard. Fucking fire them. Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has more to bring out, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's an ass. He's stupid. I fired his ass. I fired his ass. I mean, how he's got to be stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him. You.
Yeah, good old Philly 500. It's funny because, there's a couple reports out that Sean McVay is kind of getting tired of Jared Goff, and he's realizing that he's nothing but really a game manager and not that. How do I get a rack or a shot glass? Ryan, it's real easy. Go to cowboyjobu.com. Cowboyjobu.com. I got a website with all the racks and stuff on there. You can place an order right there. And where is formerly known as Dak Fan? Did you pick somebody, or are you gonna send me an email and tell me who you're picking? Watson does not make sense. Yeah, but see, Mark, here's the thing. There's a lot of guys that don't make sense. Remember, we had people saying, "Well, let Dak walk, and we'll just sign Cam Newton." Do you remember that?
Cam Newton might be going to Washington if he gets let go.
I'm just saying, we had people that said that. Remember, people say, "Oh, get Teddy Bridgewater, get Teddy Bridgewater, man. Let Dak walk." Remember when they were saying the talking heads, the Cowboys should trade with the Raiders to get Derek Carr. I believe it was Colin Cowherd. He was like, because you get him for like $22 million, you save some money. Screw Dak Prescott. Remember when we signed Andy Dalton? Oh, Dak Prescott, we're gonna let him walk because we got a real quarterback
Raiders
now.
would love to have
It's like, come
Dak
on, guys,
Prescott.
come on. Green Bay about to choke in the NFC Championship game this Sunday. Travis, it's like I'm trying to figure out who I hate worse, Tom Brady or Aaron frickin' Rodgers. I just, oh, God.
Tampa Bay is going to be the first
I hate them
team
both.
to host their own Super Bowl.
I mean, that's the battle of Old Bay, as my man DMV would say. But anyway, it's time to get your shot glass ready. Hope you guys have your shot glass. Okay, get your shot glass. We're going to get ready to get out of here because, well, we've had about 12 minutes of overtime, and I need to take care of some business. All right, so got your shot glass, got your drink. Let's hit it. Mark Ray, email me cowboysmark94@gmail if you didn't get it. Oh, skip. I messed that up. We started over. Please do, Emily Ann. All right, everybody. I want to thank you as always for being here, and be safe out there. My thoughts and prayers with everybody. Emily Ann, I hope your son gets over COVID real quick. My man who, the meat church, lost your wife in December. Apologize. I feel bad for you, man. I know we've got somebody in here who just had chemo and just got finished. Hope all of those things are good. Be safe out there, and we'll see you guys in the morning. And this is to all of you great fans. Appreciate you.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year.
The most interesting man in the world is what the theme music is.